What is up, everybody? We are here in Miami. This is the Flippin Bats Now pregame show. I'm Ben Verlander, joined, as always, by Alex Curry. We have made it to Miami, and so has every single team. We got a ton to cover. Mexico and Puerto Rico is on deck. This show is going to be a blast. The game's in about 20-30 minutes. We'll take you right up to that game. Let's get to it.
It's a blowout. 8th inning, 10-3. Bases are loaded for Verlander, who waits on the 3-0 pitch. He swings, and it's a high fly ball, deep center field. It is gone! Home run! And a huge bat flip to celebrate. All right, Ben, start the show already.
Got the second run home. Now he lights this one to center field, and that's another hit for Lindor. And it gets by Rodriguez. And Lindor is off to the races. To second. Heading for third. We'll see if they send him. And they are going to send him. The ball's bobbled. Lindor all the way home. Got the
What a moment. The energy. I am expecting that and more here, Alex. It's going to be wild. This World Baseball Classic has been incredible. The numbers came out. This World Baseball Classic has been historic.
Yep.
Now we're here. We're going to get to experience it. We're in Miami on a beautiful balcony. There's yachts going behind us. There's a pool. So I'm really excited to be here.
It's already been so magical the moment we arrived in Miami. Our Uber driver picked us up in a World Baseball Classic Puerto Rico hat with the flag in the window. We've seen fans everywhere from Mexico and Puerto Rico today. The energy is here. There is just a different vibe in Miami. I know it's just my first time here, my first day here, but I am already so in love with this place. I can't wait for tonight.
I know we're in Miami where the World Baseball Classic is happening, but I've still been pretty amazed by, I went to lunch by myself today, went to a sports bar, watched some March Madness, and half of the conversations around me were about the World Baseball Classic.
Yep.
And people that had been to some games or are going to the game tonight and the rest of the games and whether they bought the full package or not. So the World Baseball Classic, obviously I'm in Miami, so I know it's close, but the response it's getting is obviously super cool. And Alex, this has been, so far, I know I said it, this has been a historic World Baseball Classic. I know historic saying that when there's only been 4 is, it's not the most historic in the world, but so far the numbers have been astounding.
Yeah, you can see the growth not only in person. I think there was a stat that pool play broke 1 million fans in attendance, so we can physically see it from game to game. But you can tell just the celebration of baseball around the world has been incredible with the amount of people tuning in. It
has. I tweeted this earlier today that the number of households that were watching the Japan versus Italy game in Japan, 48%. 48% of households were watching, and 61% of TVs in Puerto Rico were watching that game. That is remarkable. Those are Super Bowl numbers here.
Yeah.
This World Baseball Classic to other countries right now means this is their Super Bowl in a way. That's the numbers it's putting up, and that's what this World Baseball Classic means to so many other nations around the world. And I still feel like the United States is kind of coming around to it as a whole, because Major League Baseball is played here.
Yes.
So as of now, a lot of people are saying, well, I want my team to win a World Series, rightfully so. That's fair to say. But I feel like in the United States, it's going to take a few more for everybody for us to start getting those numbers.
Yeah.
But Alex, a lot of this tournament has taken place in the United States, and you mentioned it. The attendance record for pool play was set over 1 million fans, which is up 98% over the previous record, which was 510,000 in 2017. Average attendance for every game was also the highest ever. Pool B in the Tokyo Dome broke records for the most fans of any round in the history of the tournament.
Yeah. And
Pool D set a record for the most attended WBC round ever in the USA, 296,000. And lastly, another record. I also tweeted this earlier, that record after record after record is getting shattered.
Yeah.
Mexico versus Team USA on March 8th drew 47,534 people, which is a WBC first round record.
It's incredible because we've obviously seen how much fun these players are having, but we've heard players say who are in Major League Baseball, this is the most fun I've ever had playing the game. We heard Mike Trout talk about it. We heard players on Team USA who play Major League Baseball talk about what this tournament has meant to them and just the environment and the energy that you're getting representing your country, because there's really nothing like that, nothing that compares to that in baseball.
Yeah, those guys have all said it. Trout and Mookie being kind of the leaders on this Team USA team, coming out and saying that has been super valuable. And you see it in other countries. Some of the other teams, I saw a video with Puerto Rico being asked, what's more important to you, winning a World Series or winning the World Baseball Classic for your home nation? And those teams are pretty much saying it's right there in line with each other. They mean equally as much. So, I'm not telling anybody how to feel, but maybe our mindset in the United States needs to change. Whereas these other countries, winning for your country means everything. It means as much as a World Series. And a lot of the fans here, it's okay, well, I just want my team to win a World Series. Please, I just want this tournament to end so these players can get back healthy.
Don't get hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I think there's a little bit of a mindset difference there. But when the players start speaking out, like Mike Trout and Mookie Betts saying, this means everything to us. Mookie's won World Series, and he's saying this is the most fun he's ever had. Mike Trout, all the MVPs, one of the greatest of all time, saying this is definitely the most fun he's ever had on a field. Adam Wainwright, whose career is coming to an end shortly, saying this is the most fun. So it's been an awesome tournament. And for me, the last thing about this, Alex, is what this tournament is doing for the growth of baseball is unprecedented. And the future, short-minded, this tournament, the numbers have been great, but the long term, the next tournament, 10 tournaments from now, this is the one we'll look back on and say, this is where everything changed.
It is, and you can feel it, you can see it. It already feels like such a big moment and deal. So let's get to our first quarterfinal game here in Miami tonight. We have Mexico taking on Puerto Rico, two incredible teams who did amazing in pool play, but I think the biggest thing about this matchup is the two big names that they have on the mound, Julio Urias for Mexico and Marcus Stroman for Puerto Rico.
When I saw this matchup, it's just full of guys in the lineup that are stars, but then the pitching matchup came out. Julio and Marcus Stroman, what a great matchup. Julio, one of the best pitchers in baseball last year. Marcus Stroman, super talented, very fun to watch on the mound. Does a lot of hesitation stuff, and he's so much fun and exciting to watch. This pitching matchup jumped out to me. You have to imagine with Julio on the mound that Mexico is expecting to come in here and beat Puerto Rico. And they're I know they've been on the other side of the country and they have this first game up over here, but Julio's their guy. They got him on the mound. I'm sure they're excited. And the winner of this game will advance to play Team Japan on Monday.
How important is pitching going to be tonight?
I think pitching is going to be the key to this tournament. That's why I'm so high on teams like Team Japan and Team Venezuela, who's thrown out some great starters so far. And in this game, I think it's so evenly matched because they both have their guys going. Pitching's so important, especially as we get into the deeper rounds, because that pitch count of 65 pitches is no longer there. It's up at 80 pitches now. So these guys can go as long as they want to. Really, you're not going to see them at this point in the year throwing 100 pitches anyway. These starters, we could see them going 5-6 innings for sure. So pitching is key in this tournament. And this is going to be a fun one.
Okay, well, let's start with Mexico, okay? Because they've had some key players with Rosarena and Meneses who have just had incredible WBCs. They have been lights out.
Mexico's been great. Dominated Pool C.
Yep.
Dominated Team USA. Looked dominant throughout that whole pool. So this team isn't the Mexico teams that we've seen in the past. This team is full of stars, and those stars are led by Randy Rosarena and Joey Meneses. Randy Rosarena through pool play. Pool play is done. He's still hitting 500 in this tournament with an OPS over 1,700. A homer, 5 doubles, 9 RBIs. Randy steps up in big occasions, and this is certainly one of them. Joey Meneses being the other guy in this lineup that has carried them. 474 in the tournament, 2 homers against the United States. OPS over 1,200. So I look at this lineup. We're going to recognize a lot of names in it, but these are the two to me that have jumped out and dominated so far and will continue to have good tournaments as long as it lasts for them.
Okay, well, let's actually take a look at Mexico's lineup right now. Who is your player to watch in this lineup tonight?
Mexico's lineup, leading off Randy Arozarena, Alex Verdugo, Joey Meneses, Rowdy Tellez, Isaac Paredes, Luis Urias, Alex Trejo, Alec Thomas, Austin Barnes, and Julio Urias on the mound. This team is the real deal. And
it's stacked.
Look, like I said, this is different from teams from the past. A lot of big-time names we know in here. Rosarena, Verdugo, Meneses, everybody, really,
yeah.
I know, but a lot of stars as well. To me, it's Alex Verdugo.
Okay.
Because he hasn't had a great tournament. And there's names all around him in this lineup that have been producing, but he's kind of the name that is probably the biggest star in this lineup for them. Alex Verdugo, big name with the Red Sox. Randy Arozarena's big time as well, but Verdugo needs to step it up, and he really hasn't so far. He's had a couple of big knocks, but not on the level that I was expecting him to. For me, he's the player to watch. If he can get going, oh, man, this lineup gets even scarier and deeper.
So my player to watch is going to be Julio Urias. I think he's really going to set the tone for this game in Team Mexico. If he can shut down Puerto Rico's bats early and give Mexico a chance to really get that lead, that's it. I think that's everything for Mexico tonight.
On the other side of things, Puerto Rico, their lineup is nasty. They have announced their lineup, which is Francisco Lindor, Kike Hernandez, Nelson Velasquez, Emmanuel Rivera, Javi Baez, Eddie Rosario, Christian Vasquez, who had a big homer the other night, Neftali Soto, and Martin Maldonado batting ninth with Marcus Stroman on the mound there. That's a stacked lineup if I've ever seen one.
I mean, every player in this lineup has made a difference as to why they are here right now, especially Francisco Lindor when they were playing the Dominican with that little league inside the park home run that really just set the tone for this team.
Lindor's batting 476.
That's crazy.
476. He's leading every single shortstop who has played at least 2 games. That's how good he's been. That's what you expect from a guy like Francisco Lindor. When you hear he's playing in the tournament, you just figure, okay, well, they're going to be good no matter who's around him because of how good he is. But they're also star-studded everywhere you look. But 476 in this tournament, pretty nasty. So their lineup is good.
So, obviously, they're missing one big guy in the roster tonight. At the end of Puerto Rico's game against the Dominican ended in tears when Edwin Diaz went down with an injury during their post-game celebration. There was a lot of speculation. We finally have answers. Ben, what's the latest?
Yeah, so he underwent, last time we talked, we didn't exactly know what the word was, but he underwent imaging that revealed a full thickness tear of the patellar tendon in his right knee. He will have full surgery performed by Dr. David Alchek. Surgery ended up happening. That went really well. He's set to begin his rehab next week. So, yes, big guy missing there, but underwent his surgery. All good. Everything went well, and we'll already begin rehab starting next week.
That's great news. And we actually heard from Edwin Diaz. He sent a tweet out saying, to all my beloved fans, especially the Met fans, I want to let you know that I'm doing well and healing. I feel blessed and grateful for your support with messages and prayers. Thank you very much. I can't wait to see you guys in New York again and play those trumpets. I think that's what everyone's going to miss the most is just the energy and what he brings to games throughout the season.
Absolutely. And I think it's going to mean a lot for PR for Puerto Rico as well. We just saw them taking his jersey out to the bullpen ahead of this game here tonight. So he's going to be with them tonight, even though he's not going to be in the dugout for sure. All
right, well, let's move on to our other quarterfinal matchup that we have going on tomorrow here in Miami. We have USA against Venezuela. Now, I think the biggest announcements for Team USA is that their ace, Lance Lynn, is going to be taking the mound for them tomorrow. That's huge.
I am so excited for that game. That one, as you mentioned, tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Team USA coming in my opinion, with a completely shifted mentality. You know, we've talked a lot about how there's been a playoff feel this whole tournament for every single team involved. But it kind of felt like the only team that it didn't feel like a playoff feel for was Team USA. Like they just kind of expected to skate through the pool. Then they end up losing to Mexico, and they kind of flipped a switch a little bit there. I'm really expecting now they're switching coasts, coming to Miami.
Yeah.
I'm expecting this to feel like I'm expecting it to feel like a playoff atmosphere for USA as they switch over here. I'm excited, and with Lance Lynn on the mound, as you said, he's the best starting pitcher on the team for them, and he comes with that FU attitude that this team desperately needed in pool play. Now I think it's just going to add to the energy all around. That game is going to be awesome.
Ooh, okay, so Team USA beats Venezuela if.
I think Team USA beats Venezuela if they bring that energy coming back from Arizona that they were building on, and the offense stays hot. This team, their offense, is better than everybody else left in this tournament. Now that Dominican's out, Team USA has the best lineup. Obviously, Venezuela's is very, very good, but if their offense can score, they have their guy on the mound, I think they'll be just fine.
Now, the other side, Venezuela, how do they get to Team USA and take this game, if they can?
Venezuela defeats the Team USA if they have a well-executed game plan against Lance Lynn. Now, what do I mean by that? Lance Lynn, as I mentioned, the pitch count went up. He could throw up to 80 pitches. He could throw 5-6 innings, which we saw him throw 5 in the last round. He could legitimately throw 6 innings here. That's worst-case scenario for Venezuela because then Team USA can hand it over to Devin Williams and Ryan Presley at the back end of that bullpen, and then you're in trouble. Their well-executed game plan needs to be attack him early or whatever it may be, whether you're attacking him early or putting pitches in him, getting deep into counts, fouling pitches off, getting him out of the game. If Lance Lynn can only go three innings, bridging that gap to the really good guys at the back end of the bullpen becomes very difficult for Team USA because they don't have that depth. But if they can go 5 or 6 on the mound and then bridge it to the back guys, Venezuela will be in trouble.
All right, well, let's get back to the game tonight because we are just minutes away from first pitch for Mexico and Puerto Rico. So I want to run through the top 5 team moments for Mexico and Puerto Rico in pool play, starting with number 5, Ben, Mexico's dominating win over Team USA.
Yeah, between these two teams, one of the top moments for sure is Mexico's dominance over Team USA in that game. I think that really announced their presence in this tournament. Everybody knew they'd be pretty good, but when they beat Team USA the way they did, that put them on the map big time.
Yeah. Number 4, Arozarena signing autographs for fans.
I loved this. Randy Arozarena is so great. They were winning a game pretty handily. Pitching change happened. He just went out to the left field wall, started signing autographs for people that wanted, and signing like gigantic gloves out there as well.
That was the size of his body.
Randy's a legend in big games, playoffs, or the World Baseball Classic, and he's proving that again here.
All right, moving on to number 3, Puerto Rico defeating Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I think this one kind of surprised everybody, right? Everybody, the tournament favorite, the Dominican Republic, they're out. They're gone. Big reason was Team Puerto Rico beating them. The reason, Team Puerto Rico taking them down. So that was a huge moment of this tournament. The building was crazy.
It was rocking.
It really was. That was a top moment for me.
Okay, number 2, Javi Baez's magical slide. Houdini slide, if you will.
This Javi Baez slide was one of the greatest slides you will ever see. It really was. He was dead in the water, heading to third. It really wasn't very smart for him to be going with 2 outs. It wasn't smart to do. But he did it.
Yep.
And then he made it work out because of this slide. If you haven't seen it, if you're watching, you can see it in the screen now. But if you haven't seen it, it was remarkable. It's what Javi Baez does. He will find a way to all you every single time he's on the bases, and he did it there too.
And number 1, Francisco Lindor's Little League inside the park home run that had everybody going crazy.
This was the best moment. It was great. Inside the Parker, Little League inside the Parker, because there was an error involved out in center field. But the crowd, the energy, his teammates, when he dove into home plate, they like dogpiled him at the plate. You could tell on TV the screen was shaking, the stadium was shaking. That was the best moment so far between these two teams. And it being Lindor just adds the cherry on top.
Just reminiscing on those moments so far. You know this game is going to be insane tonight. It's a packed house. Fans are going to be going wild. So let's get into our game predictions. Ben, who do you have winning this game tonight?
I'm riding with Puerto Rico here. I think Puerto Rico gets it done 5-3. My player of the game, Javi Baez. I think big moments, big opportunities is what Javi Baez thrives on. I would look for him to do something tonight. 5-3 Puerto Rico.
All right, I'm with you. I also have Puerto Rico winning, but I have them winning 5-4. This is going to be a close one. Yeah,
because mine's not close. Yeah.
One run. All right. Well, my player of the game was also your player to watch, Francisco Lindor. I think if he steps up for this team and does what he did against the Dominican Republic, there is no stopping Puerto Rico. I also think they're going to have this extra edge tonight because Edwin Diaz is out. We saw them carrying his jersey out to the bullpen, into the outfield. I think they're going to play for not only for Puerto Rico, but for Edwin Diaz, and they're getting it done here tonight.
All right, we are just seconds away from this game starting. This has been the Flippin Bats Now pregame show. We will be back post-game, immediately following the game, recording our new live show. We're doing this every single day we're here. This is going to be a blast. The stadium tonight is packed. It's sold out. It's going to be a great game, a lot of fun. Enjoy it. We will be back post-game. Make sure you guys check out and subscribe to Flippin' Bats wherever you listen to their podcast. Enjoy the game, everyone. We'll see you in a little while.